Most of the investors focus on Brisbane, Perth or Adelaide or other capital cities, but there's a coastal regional town in Queensland which is quietly experiencing strong population growth, rising property prices and major infrastructure investment, and many properties are still under 600k. Hi, I'm Ankit from ValueNest Buyers Agency and I specialize in research-led property investment strategies. I help property investors make confident, data-driven decisions by focusing on numbers and fundamentals and not headlines. Today we are analyzing whether the Fraser Coast could be one of Australia's next property hotspots. First of all, let's talk about the location. Where is Fraser Coast? It is 270 kilometers from Brisbane and 160 kilometers from Noosa. And the main centers are Hervey Bay and Maryborough. Population growth is one of the biggest drivers of property prices. Fraser Coast population has been rising steadily and is expected to grow significantly over the next 2 decades. This region's population grow from 100,000 to 118,000 and is projected to reach 150,000 by 2046. Now what that means? More residents, more housing demand and pressure on property prices. Now let's talk about the key infrastructure projects which are transforming Fraser Coast and its growth. First one is $260 million of Hinkler Regional Deal, $108 million of Hervey Bay Community Hub, $100 million of hospital expansion, $450 million Sheraton Resort proposal. Now this infrastructure typically will lead to new jobs, population growth and again in turn rising property demand. Let's look at the diversification in the local economy. Fraser Coast economy is not reliant on a single industry. So the key sectors include healthcare, construction, tourism, manufacturing and agriculture. The region's gross regional product reached $6.16 billion in 2024. A diversified economy usually creates long-term stability for property markets. Let's come down to the numbers, how this region has performed in the last 5 years. In Hervey Bay, the property values have increased 83.9%. In Maryborough, the property values have increased 102.5%. Rents have also increased a lot. In Hervey Bay, up to 48.8% and Maryborough around 53.8%. Now this shows a very strong demand in the rental market as well. But is this market still affordable? Let's discuss that as well. By the strong growth, this region remains affordable. Areas like Granville still have a median price of around 510k, Maryborough around 521k, Ellie Waters around 739k and Dundurn Beach around $1.2 million. So many of the suburbs are still under 700k. Now this affordability attracts investors, first home buyers and interstate migrants. Now the key factor that separates it from the other suburbs we have analyzed is the rental yields. In Maryborough, the rental yield is around 5.3%, Granville 5.2% and Howard around 5.1%. So strong yields help investors manage interest rates and cash flows as well. So if we look at the future growth, these several projects could boost the growth of Fraser Coast, like renewable energy projects, train manufacturing facility, solar farm powering thousands of homes, residential developments which are happening. It is delivering around 1,600 plus new jobs. These developments support job creation, infrastructure upgrades and long-term population growth. The final takeaway about Fraser Coast, it has all the ingredients that an investor looks for, whether it is population growth, whether it is infrastructure investment, affordability and strong rental demand. Fraser Coast ticks all the boxes and this is the combination that exactly the property investors look for. So the real question is, will Fraser Coast become Queensland's next major property growth corridor? Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.